conference. And we have more of LeBron James talking about what the problems are. And he's saying we cannot wait and hope that Isaiah Thomas will be the answer to all of our problems.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's too much expected. I don't think we're, relying on the IT to come back. We want him to take his time, and when he feels he's ready, then he's going to fit right in. But we can't rely on just one person. We can't rely on just one person anyway for us to be as good as we want to be. No matter if it's IT or myself or Tristan being out, we have guys that have to step up.
Do you believe in all this?
I actually watched that. I watched it last night. I thought they played great. I just don't think they got killed on the boards because Tristan Thompson didn't play. They're going to be fine because the East is awful, and they're missing it's the difference between the dog ate my homework and I got in a car wreck driving to school. Mm-hmm. One's a real reason. Mm-hmm. Yes, Isaiah Thomas is an all-star. They're going to get him back. That's going to be a big thing.
They never had him.
But they're going to get an all-star, so they're going to be fine. I watched them last night, and I'm like, oh, they look good. And by the way, they're now 4-1 against the best teams they've played. And last night was an incredibly winnable game, but they got 17-3 out-rebounded on the offensive glass. But that game came down to a shot, and I watched that game. They look good.
I understand not maybe playing your hardest right now in the season because you want to save
they played hard last
later, but when you're now 5-7 and 11th in the Eastern Conference, eventually that's going to catch up to you, and you're going to have to work even harder when it counts to get yourself back up the rankings.
They played hard last night. They looked pretty good. Actually, Cleveland could have won that game.
Well, that's scary then.
Yeah. No, Houston's a good team. I'm not sure. Houston's funny. I'm not sure Houston, you watch them last night. I'm not sure the CP3. I watched them and Harden is so, there's a little Westbrook thing. I'm not sure CP3 is the world's. I don't know. I haven't seen them play together enough. But I was watching last night, and I'm like, Houston's real good. And last night I was like, in Cleveland, those were two good playoff teams last night. I never a moment I watched that. And I watched the OKC game, and I'm like, now they have all their pieces, and their chemistry late was awful. They don't know who should shoot.
But that's a good thing. That's a good problem. There's no egos getting in the way. I like that because that was the critique going into the season, that their egos were all going to be too big to get along with each other.
I think Cleveland's going to be just fine.
Okay. Did you watch this part of the game when LeBron lost control of the ball and it went into the backcourt? I believe we have the play.
Right there. I saw that,
Yeah. So he starts yelling at the ref, and then Trevor Ariza comes and gets involved with that. And he's pretty angry there at Trevor. Had to be broken up a bit. So 2 minutes later, I want to show you what happened and how LeBron got revenge.
Oh, White side of Miami. There's James on the drive, and he stuffs. LeBron James puts it down.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That's him saying, "I'm going to show you."
Yes.
Trevor Ariza.
Yeah. Kobe used to do that. Kobe and Michael had that little thing in them.
I don't mind it.
No, it was.
I think sometimes it could too much ego can get in the way, but I like having a little dog in you.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. And finally, it's time now for the fantasy headline to look out for, sponsored by DraftKings. Play free for $1 million or more in prizes. This is a crazy story. So there's a report that Martellus Bennett has a torn rotator cuff, and we're not sure when it happened. The Packers believe that Bennett failed to disclose the injury, and that means that it was maybe there before they signed him as a free agent, which is a big no-no. So that's when they cut him. Now the Patriots have signed him and have to determine whether or not he can play. Otherwise, they still have to pay him with this torn rotator cuff. What do you think about all this?
I'm always split on Martellus Bennett. I've always been split on him. I think he's a flake. But I think as the season wears on and everybody's falling apart physically, I think I'd rather, if I was Aaron Rodgers or Brett Hundley, have him than not have him.
But if he lied?
Oh, God, lying.
Lying's okay?
I think everybody, when it comes to their health in sports, lies. Everybody. everybody lies. I mean, listen, we've had multiple stories published now where players have gone on record saying, oh, yeah, I had multiple concussions. I wouldn't come out of the game. Football players lying about an injury, like, that's what they do. It's
so you think Tom Brady is lying when he says he hasn't had all these concussions Giselle talks about?
I think everybody lies in that sport. Every single, even the most Christian-based, wonderful, wonderful dad. Coach, I'm fine. Because what if you're a veteran and you got a really good right tackle behind you? Coach, it is just a little bleeding. I think. Yeah, by the way, John, good point. Sometimes they lie to themselves. I mean, I think football is about getting on the field and staying on the field however you can do it.
Great.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.